Warm Florida waters prove they can be potentially heart-stopping.
Somebody's going down.
In Clearwater, passengers watch in awe as the crew races to medevac a newlywed off a cruise ship.
We're getting ready to rock and roll here.
While out in Key West, violent seas threaten the rescue efforts of a scuba diver clinging to life.
It's all right. It's all right. It's just the way it is.
Sorry, it's kind of a bumpy ride.
You still grabbing your hand?
The Florida Peninsula, a hotbed for Mother Nature's fury. Here, every day, the brave men and women of the Coast Guard's busiest boat and air stations vigilantly patrol nearly 2 million square miles of turbulent waters, protecting the public from the dangerous elements and preventing foreign threats and illegal drugs from reaching our shores. America's southern waters are protected by Coast Guard Florida.
I heard it was 150 Southwest Carnival cruise with cardiac event, and the flight surgeon wants to see him in a critical care unit.
Lieutenant Steve Drzeski, Air Station Clearwater, H-60 Jayhawk pilot. We got the report around 10 o'clock that there was a medical evacuation on a cruise ship. It turned out it was 180 nautical miles to the southwest of Clearwater. A man on board was having cardiac issues and that he needed to come off the vessel. Wind's at about 25 knots out of the north. Sea's about 6 feet out there, so not too bad. I'm not sure if they're going to send up the ship's nurse.
I always recommend it just because it never hurts. My name is McLean Andrew Cunningham. I'm an aviation survival technician, helicopter rescue swimmer.
Anything else? Any other questions?
If the medical case is severe, they'll take the nurse. They maintain the medical care, and their scope of practice, it's much higher than ours as EMT basics.
All right. Before takeoff checklist is complete.
Coast Guard 6011, thanks cleared for takeoff.
Clearwater Air Rescue 6011 is airborne with 05 POV. Look at our radar, looks like it's firing.
We started up and headed out to where the Carnival Legend was.
It's about 185 miles from the position back to Tampa. Okay.
Going that far offshore, although it's not at the limits of the H-60's capability, it's kind of pushing it.
So right now we're about 5,000 pounds of gas. Probably gonna take us another, maybe about 1,000 pounds, a little more. Yeah, we're gonna have a headwind going back too, so I'm guessing about 2,000 pounds to get back to Tampa.
We have to do some planning. Are we going to need more gas to get there, do the hoist of the patient, and get back? Also, the weather, is that going to play a factor into the safe execution of this mission as well?
It takes a long time for the hoist or whatever. The phone call tables are a go-to spot for fuel. We're getting ready to rock and roll here, huh? Yeah, we are.
We made a couple passes to assess the winds and the stability of the boat.
This is a good-looking deck. Wonder why they have all the water out of their pool. They do that for this. Really? Yeah. They're pretty sharp.
My name's Christian Miller. I'm an aviation maintenance technician, second class. This is my first operational hoist as a flight mechanic. I had a little bit of nerves going. There's a lot of people on their balconies hanging out, watching us.
Okay, just put me down wherever. There's plenty of room, and you're gonna do great, brother. Yeah. Ready for one direct deployment of the swimmer to the stern of the vessel. Roger, check swimmer. Roger, check swimmer. I feel good. Swimmer's ready. Begin the hoist. Swimmer's going outside for load check. Load check complete. Swimmer's going down.
The deck that I was lowered to had staterooms on the side of the boat. It's really interesting that right there where you're doing some pretty intense work, there's just people watching and taking pictures and waving.
Count me in. Right 30. Right 20. Right 10. And hold.
Chris did a really good job. I just touched down real nice.
Swimmer's on deck. Swimmer's disconnected. Swimmer's disconnected. Bring your trail line up. Clear to move back and left. Hoist from the cabin, hoist complete.
We lower our rescue swimmer down to the ship first. That way we have somebody from the crew with eyes on to determine whether or not the patient is in good shape.
Sir, it looks like we're going to be doing 2 baskets, and patient is ambulatory. I'll copy. All right, well, I'll make my approach.
He was ambulatory, so it didn't require a litter hoist. I could just put him in a basket, which is preferred. It's much easier, it's much safer.
All right, this will be a basket with trail line ×2, followed by a harness recovery of the swimmer. Roger that, sir. Head target in sight. Fastest going out the door. Fastest going down.
For today's situation, we determined that the best plan of action was to send up the nurse first. That gives us healthcare potential on both the aircraft and the ship.
Bring him back in the cabin.
And then we bring the patient up second. Now the nurse can tend to the patient while we get him strapped into the seat.
And survivor's on his way to the basket. Take a load. Back is coming up. Clear back to left 30.
Everything looked really good. The helicopter was super stable, and it was as advertised. It was really nice evolution, really safe.
Bring him back in the cabin.
The survivor, when I was bringing him up, his eyes are just humongous. I don't think he knew exactly what to think. After I got him out and got him situated, we got him sat down next to the nurse. He seemed like he calmed down a lot.
Swimmer's coming up. Swimmer's outside. Cabin door. Bring your swimmer in the cabin.
Pretty good feeling for me to actually get that first save.
Nice job on the hoist.
I'm just excited to have it out of the way and get many more to come, so.
Well, knock on wood, I say we're pretty blessed that no one's doing work on this guy back here. I asked him, I says, you ready to get off this boat and hit some dry land? And he goes, nope. He's like, I'm having fun. It was pretty good.
Me and my wife Ophelia got married, and we thought a nice cruise would be good for the honeymoon. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up. I started having a pain in my chest, getting harder and harder and harder to breathe. So that's when I decided to get up real quick and go up to one of the staff and tell them about it. So they put in a IV and started this medicine. Really didn't take care of it, but I mean, it slowed it up some. I could breathe easier, but they couldn't risk my life being on the ship.
Tampa General Hospital, Coast Guard Rescue Helicopter 6011.
The nurse was great. She stood there the whole time, made sure that everything went well. She did a great job. Everybody did.
And clear down. And clear down. Parking brake is on.
Thank God for the Coast Guard. They pulled me right off. They did save my life, I believe. Well, I do want to go on a cruise again, though, if they let me.
All right, how we doing? Good. Everything was smooth? Okay.
It's nice to come into work today and have a safe medevac, and everyone turned out okay, so good day.
Coast Guard, we have a man missing in the water.
Just keep your eyes peeled both sides of the boat. What we're primarily looking for is their head and shoulders. It's a really small target in a really big ocean. Go ahead and drop life rig right here.
My name is Lieutenant Chelsea Khalil. I work in the law enforcement division here at Air Station Clearwater, and I fly the H-60 Jayhawk helicopter. Well, I'm doing my night vision goggle check tonight for aircraft commander syllabus. So it's a little different than typical, but it should be a good flight. I'm in the middle of my aircraft commander syllabus right now. I've completed most of the requirements. All right, mission requirements are night vision goggle check for myself. Being an aircraft commander means that you're responsible for the safe conduct of the flight from start to finish. Our flight plan will be to MacDill and back. There shouldn't be too many aircraft in the pattern over there, but if for some reason they do have, you know, Air Force guys coming in, we'll just be looking out for them.
Flight controls are checked. Switches are checked. All checked. 589 for the 36 for this next scenario. I'll have you get underway and 10 to 15 knots, whatever's comfortable for you guys.
We go up to 1,000 feet and then practice landing to a specific point that we pick on the runway.
Clear sight. Crew report ready for approach. Ready for approach.
And also we'll be doing running landings, which are a little more tricky at night just because you have less of those visual cues.
All right, Chelsea, nice job. Very good, very good.
Everything went really well. I did all the maneuvers as I was supposed to and got good reviews from the flight examiner, so I passed. That means that I'm one step closer. I only have one more flight and an open and closed book exam before I'm an aircraft commander.
Coast Guard, Coast Guard. We have a man missing in the water.
Here. MK3 Jaime Rivas, currently stationed Coast Guard Station Key West. Got the call for a person in the water, approximately 6:30 in the morning.
Roger.
Person in the water is an urgent situation, don't necessarily know the current of water or how well their swimming is. Try to get it out as fast as we could.
Where's go?
Do you have any other amplifying information on the PIW we'll be looking for over?
The information that was passed to us was that the individual jumped in the water with a female. The female came out of the water. She watched him go under and never resurfaced. He was described as a 180-pound white male wearing gray boxer shorts. Over.
Station 4, roger. My name's James Paradiso. I'm a BM1 here at Station Key West, Florida. Received a call from the OD this morning about a possible person in the water about 21 miles east or in Cudjoe Basin. Station Key West, Town 4-3. We just arrived on scene just south of Cudjoe Basin.
Roger, you can start searching.
Go ahead and drop life ring right here. Roger. We use a throwable ring buoy attached to a strobe light as a data marker buoy, so that way we can determine the direction of set and drift. It's going to let us know the most probable location where he's going to end up over a period of time. Guys, we're starting our Vector Sierra right now. Just keep your eyes peeled both sides of the boat for a person in the water.
Roger.
Back on 020. I'm going to go as far as I can on this contour line here. We couldn't get into the basin due to the depth of the water being between 1 and 2 feet inside. What we're primarily looking for is their head and shoulders. It's a really small target in a really big ocean. And we just have to remain vigilant and watchful. Whenever a significant amount of time goes by of a person being in the water, the chances of survival are greatly diminished. We had a dolphin helicopter on scene as well, searching the area. Our datum only moved 40 yards in 10 minutes. I don't even think he's going to be out this way for a long time, just based on how fast that set and drift is and where he went in.
Took a long time to get off the ship.
And that's if, you know, he's not hung up on anything or scraping the bottom. Let him know we're completing our Vector Sierra.
Station Key West, Town 4-3. Be advised we have an update on the person in the water inside Cudjoe Basin. Local authorities on scene have located the individual on the weed line and have announced him deceased. Over.
We got a call from Sector Key West notifying us that the male had been found on land. Dealing with someone dying or someone not making it is pretty hard. It takes a toll upon you, but you have to reflect upon it and move forward.
Be advised at this time we are diverting to 5 nautical miles south of American Shoal Light for a report of a possible sighting of a bale of marijuana floating in the water.
It's not the norm to immediately get rolled into law enforcement mode. You guys didn't open it at all or mess with it?
I got it open.
You did cut it open?
The only thing that we knew was a female surfaced too rapidly, and when they got her on board, she was unconscious and had bloody froth coming out of her mouth.
Can you still hear me? Can you squeeze my hand for me?
advised at this time we are diverting for a report of a possible sighting of a bale of marijuana floating in the water. How copy on that, over?
We were diverted to a fishing vessel approximately 11 miles to the south that had spotted a bale of marijuana floating in the water. It's not the norm to immediately get rolled into law enforcement mode.
Station 4-3, we just arrived on scene with motor vessel Weekend Bender. All right, how you guys doing? It's a lucky day, like won the lottery, huh? It's the only one that you found right there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You guys didn't open it at all or mess with it?
We cut it open.
You did cut it open? All right. Does it appear to be marijuana or cocaine?
Marijuana.
Okay. You have the registration on the boat? Anytime something like this is reported, they want to know who it comes from and all that. Not that we're going to keep tabs on you guys. But our main goal is just to take down the information from the vessel, take photo documentation of it, and return it to base. All you guys did was cut it open and remove any of it.
Yes, sir. Now, this bottle of vodka, I couldn't have promised you.
We weren't sure if we should bring it on board or just call it in. So we were kind of curious as to what it was. As soon as we cut it, we knew what it was.
All right, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
We were just trolling along and saw what we thought was a floater, might be some dolphin on it. So we looked at it, wondered what it was, and picked it in the boat and got it open, smelled it, and it was weed. 3 or 4 different times we found stuff like this. Seems to be out here quite a bit.
Bag?
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Michael Teague. I'm a boatswain second class, the officer of the day. We're going to conduct a narcotics identification test on it, and once that happens, we'll be able to determine whether it is marijuana or not.
So what we have here is our standard drug identification kit. It's called a NIC kit. You take a sample of the contraband and you place it into a pouch that has a couple little test tubes of chemicals that react to the agent. It shows a purple color on a positive test result. The substance immediately turned purple. It smells like marijuana, it looks like marijuana. Now we're actually 100% positive that it is marijuana.
All right, cool, thank you. Yep. At Key West PD, they're taking the brick of marijuana. They have every available means to dispose of the contraband. Mission accomplished. Drugs aren't making it to the street.
We're just gonna leave your goggles on?
Yeah, probably.
My name's Lieutenant Chelsea Khalil, and right now we're in the 60 hangar. I'm getting ready to go on my search and rescue check for my aircraft commander syllabus.
Once we get down, we'll just head this direction, and you just want to call the snares up because it gets everybody thinking on the same page, come up with the best possible solution. I'm Lieutenant Commander David Marama. I'm one of the MH-60 flight instructors here at Air Station Clearwater. I have flown with Lieutenant Khalil before. She's done fantastic so far in her syllabus. This is kind of like the final check that we give to ensure that they can safely go out and operate the aircraft and be able to prosecute any mission that we should assign them once that is complete.
Crew duties, responsibilities. I'll be in right seat answering the pilot. Lieutenant Commander Marama will be in the left seat answering the co-pilot. Flight mech, rescue swimmer. Any questions or anything to add on the brief?
So obviously, we'll doing simulated emergencies. Yes, sir. Obviously, staying simulated.
Tonight, I'll be essentially simulating that you're out on a case and you need to either put the basket down to a vessel that's in distress or lower the swimmer down to people that are in the water. So the point of tonight is just to check and make sure that I'm proficient in those areas and could go out and teach it to someone else.
Air Skirt 6014 is ready for departure to the southwest.
Flight controls are checked. Checked.
Clear takeoff 18 low, 40 uniform.
We'll be flying for roughly 3 hours tonight. We'll be headed down to Fort Myers and working with the 45-foot vessel down there. We'll just be doing simulated survivor for this evening, so there won't actually be anyone in the basket.
All right, we're on scene. There's a boat with an injured crew member. The crew member can walk, and they're not taking on water. Something's wrong with the boat. Another crew member's hurt. What do you think, man?
probably try the vascular tray line.
Very nice.
Roger that, ma'am. Now going out the cabin door.
Roger.
That's on its way down.
That's going down.
Once we completed the SAR check ride, I knew that I had successfully completed the last thing on my aircraft commander syllabus. And so just looking forward to getting back on deck and officially becoming an aircraft commander.
You what? You're gonna throw up? Turn it to her side.
Jim!
Yeah?
Jim, what? Come down. Come down.
Hey, Chelsea, we're gonna go ahead and send you on this case.
I'm pretty excited right now as it is my first flight as an aircraft commander.
Make sure that we maintain 10 feet of all obstacles.
Respiratory shallow, pulse was pounding. Yeah.
JB McGruber on 16, verify that current position.
My name is James Paradiso. I'm a BM1 at Coast Guard Station Key West. We received a call mid-afternoon that there was a diving accident aboard an 80-foot vessel approximately 30 miles to the west near the Dry Tortugas. The only thing that we knew was a female surfaced too rapidly, and when they got her on board, she was unconscious and had bloody froth coming out of her mouth.
What do you make, 27, 30 minutes?
I'm BM3 Willard at Coast Guard Station Key West. When hearing of diving accidents, generally the prognosis isn't that great. We generally don't hear about diving accidents until it's almost too late.
6 miles, guys. Our updated ETA.
A lot of the dive accidents that we have out here have not had such a great outcome. So already what's going through our mind was this was a bad situation and possibly getting worse.
JB McGruber, you can tie up right here on my port side.
Heads up.
Station Talent 4-3. I have 2 crewmen over with Stokes litter to assess the patient.
What's her name?
Carol.
Carol?
This is her husband, Jim.
Okay.
When we arrive on scene, BM3 Canning and I go over on the vessel. We see the patient laying on the deck. She's got oxygen on her, doesn't want to open her eyes.
You can feel when they scratch at her toes, when they first got her up, she had bloody froth in her mouth.
Her condition doesn't look good right now. Her breathing and her pulse both are weaker than normal.
All right, they got oxygen ready on that side.
She is unresponsive. We think she had water in her lungs. Her situation is deteriorating on board this vessel.
Keep going, buddy. Keep breathing. That's a good girl. They're moving you on the boat, you okay?
Can you still hear me? Can you squeeze my hand for me?
Time was definitely of the essence to get this woman back to the station for care. The faster we got back there, the greater chance that this woman had of possibly surviving.
Good girl. Keep breathing, honey.
Station 4-3, be advised, embark 01 male, 01 female.
4-3 station, roger. Just maintain oxygen on patient at this time.
Yes. Yeah, she's breathing.
She's still grabbing your hand?
No. She's not grabbing your hand still?
Grab my hand for me, ma'am.
On the way back, we're monitoring her vital signs, you know, checking her breathing, her circulation, making sure that it doesn't get any more shallow or she doesn't lose a pulse or anything like that.
There's the oxygen. You just get that oxygen deep in.
Just keep breathing, Carol, okay?
Right here.
What's up? No, I gotta keep this on you, okay? It's just oxygen, okay?
Once we got her on our boat, she was semi-responsive, but she was still in a bad condition.
Carol, are you doing all right?
Hang on, hang on.
It's all right. It's all right. It's just the way. It's
Sorry, it's kind of a bumpy ride.
Hang on. Our conditions on the return back have worsened. We're looking at more consistent 3 to 4 footers with the occasional 5 footer. She was having a rough ride back there. What's wrong?
You what? You're gonna throw up? She's gonna throw up. Turn it to her side.
I'm gonna get you on your side.
Jim! Greenwood, come down for me. She's gonna throw up. We got her on her side.
The sea state can absolutely worsen the condition of the patient. If they're in that critical of condition, I mean, you want to keep them as stable as possible.
All right, she's got a little bit out.
Is there any blood in it?
Chris, it looked like a little bit of blood in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can come up a little bit. Come up a little on her side.
All right. Got you right here. Everybody's taking really good care of you. This boat's much faster than the other one. We're already past the Marquesas, so we're doing well.
In this case, the husband emotionally is actually holding up quite well.
Hi, baby. You're okay.
Constantly reassuring his wife, talking to her the entire duration of the transit.
You're gonna be really tired of my voice, but I'm gonna keep talking to you.
It's very important, especially in life-threatening events. You need to be there, reassuring hand or that voice. He did a great job. Coming down. Coming down.
Coming into the thing now. I'm gonna hold on to you until they have to move you, okay? All right, baby. You just hold on.
Just a few more minutes, okay?
When I come into the station, we have awaiting medical services on the pier so they can get to the hospital as soon as possible.
You okay?
You okay, baby?
Water in the lungs. Feels like.
Water in your lungs?
We know that she's getting better, being able to squeeze our hand and hold a conversation with her husband.
They're gonna take care of you, baby. Just keep breathing.
We're not just doing a job out here, we're saving lives. This female victim would be deceased today had we not gone out there.
All right, baby. You're okay.
Down on oxygen for about 30 minutes before we got here. All right, guys.
This is really exactly why I joined the Coast Guard, to help people. And it really feels good being part of the team and part of the Coast Guard and actually doing what I came here to do.
Just wait right here for a second. We've got to get some information from you real quick, okay?
We don't often get thanked by the people that we save, and we don't ask for it and nor expect it, but it's a really gratifying feeling when we know what we did out there actually saved somebody and they can go back to their families.
Yes. I'm Carol Heffernan, and I'm from Bonita Springs, Florida.
We had done 2 dives earlier in the day, and then we went out on the 3rd dive, and we had a lot more current.
And as we came to the surface, I realized that I was having a hard time breathing, and that's the last thing I remember.
I was just kind of thinking, she can't die. I don't know what I'm going to do without her. They're going to take care of you, baby.
The Coast Guard is awesome. Their response, their training, that's why I'm alive, because of the Coast Guard.
Chelsea, how you doing? Come on in.
Sir, doing well.
All right.
Afternoon, Ops.
How you doing? Have a
Doing
seat.
well, how are you, sir? I'm here today, sir, because I finished all the requirements for my aircraft commander syllabus, and I have my logbook ready for you to sign.
Excellent.
And if you have a few words to...
I do. How'd the syllabus go?
It went really well, sir.
I'm Commander Chris Ferguson. I'm the operations officer here at Air Station Clearwater. You've reached a great milestone in your career right now. I'm proud of you. I've got to watch you from a brand new co-pilot progress up to a first pilot and now to an aircraft commander. When you become an aircraft commander, it's your license to learn. All of a sudden, you're no longer that second person in command. You're the one that's making those decisions. So it's a big difference, a big leap from being the one that can give input to being that person that makes the final decision. We like to say, got tossed the keys to the car. It's time to go learn. You're going to be going out there to complete some demanding cases. You'll come across them in your career, but you've always got to know your limits. Remind yourself, my job is to do everything I possibly can to help these people out, but at the same time, I've got a responsibility to keep my crew safe. Always improve. and seek excellence. And you know, I just want to say congratulations, and go out there and keep everyone safe, and do a great job.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. My meeting with Ops went really well. He said pretty much what I was expecting, that I'm now responsible for the safe conduct of flights when I go out and sign as the aircraft commander. And so I'm looking forward to flying my first flight.
For Chelsea, this is her first aircraft commander duty, as well as her first medevac. And I can only imagine what's going on in her head.
How are you going to approach the boat? Yeah, looks like you're going to have 2 obstacles there.
Hey, Chelsea. Hey, we're going to go ahead and send you and Pat on this case. Right now, they're making 17 knots in towards Cape Canaveral. Probably be about 3 hours before you get on scene. We've got a heart attack victim on a container ship about 210 miles off Cape Canaveral. About 330 miles as the crow flies from where we are at Air Station Clearwater. We're going to go ahead and send the C-130 with you to fly cover. And the plan is to pick this gentleman up and bring him back to the States, somewhere in the Cape Canaveral area, drop him off at the hospital. All right, you guys be safe. Bye.
My name is Lieutenant Chelsea Khalil. I'm an aircraft commander. I fly H-60s at Air Station Clearwater. It's been a couple years in the making, but finally made it to what the initial goal is of every pilot in the Coast Guard. I'm officially an aircraft commander. My first flight as an aircraft commander, myself and Pat Miller were scheduled to do a law enforcement patrol, and on the way out to the aircraft, we were told that we were going to be conducting a medevac instead.
I was just thinking, did they say whether he was ambulatory or not? Because we don't have a litter with us, do we?
Yes, we do.
We do? Okay. Probably should have asked that question before we left, but now we're 3:30 away from that point.
Because of the distance offshore, we had a C-130 that was flying cover. They fly out there. Because they're a lot faster, they get on scene prior to us, and they were able to talk to the vessel, get them facing the right direction for us to conduct the hoist.
I am AET2 Brandon Critchfield. I'm a flight mechanic here at Air Station Clearwater. On a medevac like this, a lot of things come to mind. Is the patient ambulatory? How bad are they feeling as far as pain, discomfort, things like that? By the time we get out there, a lot of things can change as far as the patient goes. So it's best just to prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
Can you get that?
Yeah, stay by.
Lieutenant Bass. Okay, ready to copy, updated. Okay. 1716 Clearwater Air. Okay, new position is north 28.26 minutes. Lieutenant Sumunga Bass, HC-130 pilot and operations duty officer for today.
Roger, have a good one.
All right, take care. For Chelsea, this is her first aircraft commander duty, as well as her first medevac. I mean, this is what we train for, and I can only imagine what's going on in her head.
How are you going to approach the boat? Yeah, it looks like you're going to have 2 obstacles there. That crane just in front of the smokestack, and then maybe that radio antenna that's forward of it.
When we arrived on scene, our main concern was just knowing which part of the vessel we would be hoisting from.
Make sure that we maintain 10 feet of all obstacles. And like we said, where there is that one tower, it'll be off on our right-hand side as we're coming in to that wind shoaling area.
We approached the hoist from a different angle of the vessel than what we are used to make sure that the nose of the aircraft would stay in the wind.
We're going to move into position. Right now we're lined up into the wind. We just need to come forward and about, I don't know, 300 feet. We're going to be over the hoisting area.
Because of that, we ended up hoisting from 80 to 90 feet over the vessel. You're hoisting from those heights, the rescue swimmer, they start to swing out of control. They can hit some of the towers that were around the hoisting area.
Bringing swimmer to the door.
Roger.
Target in sight. Swimmers ready. Roger that.
On a cargo ship of this nature, you do have to be prepared for things to go awry real quick.
Swimmers ready. Roger that. Add target in sight. Swimmers going out the door. Swimmers going down. Swimmers going down. Swimmers going down. Swimmers about 15 feet below us. I'm going to hold them there for the moment.
Roger. The hoist for this case was a lot higher than we would usually do. When we train, we're usually at 30 feet above the water, which puts us at about 10 feet above the training vessel. And for this case, we were at 200 feet above the water and then about 80 feet over the vessel.
And let's go forward and right. We got about forward and right 40.
Roger.
What we hoisted at today was approximately 3 times higher than what we typically train at.
We need to come forward in about 300 feet. We're going to be over the hoisting area.
Roger that.
For me, it was the highest hoist I've ever had off the water and off the deck of a vessel. Get out of the helicopter and, I look down and I'm sitting here thinking, if something happens, like, this is it. There's nothing I can do. Like, if my harness was to give out, if the cable would have snapped, anything like that, you're 200 feet off the water, you're 90 feet off a vessel with a 45-pound EMT kit strapped to your back. It was definitely in the back of my head going, something was happening. This could be bad.
Make sure that we maintain 10 feet of all obstacles.
Basically, we've got a heart attack victim on a container ship about 210 miles off Cape Canaveral, about 330 miles as the crow flies from where we are at Air Station Clearwater.
Swimmers going down.
Roger.
Hold. Swimmers going down. And swimmer is on deck.
Roger.
Swimmer's disconnected from the hook. Swimmers are right. And seems to be walking there into the little porthole there.
Roger.
Contact for the patient. I'm going to sit down with him for a second, getting his vitals before we get in the helicopter.
Roger.
We ended up putting our swimmer down to evaluate the patient. He was sitting with him for about 3 or 4 minutes, got his vitals, and prepared him to get into the rescue basket.
6014 is rescue swimmer. The patient's been briefed. I got a good set of vitals on him, and we're going to be walking towards the hoisting area right now.
Okay.
Basket's going out the door.
Roger.
Basket's going down.
Roger.
Basket's on deck.
Roger.
Swimmer's having the patient come out to the basket right now.
Roger.
Patient's inside basket. Taking the load.
When you're hoisting from those heights, cable management is a very big issue, as well as swing gear and the safety of the rescue swimmer and the patient. If they start to swing out of control, they can hit some of the towers that were around the hoisting area.
Basket coming up.
Roger.
Hold. Basket just below cabin. Bring a basket inside with the patient.
Roger.
Once we hoisted him with the rescue basket, we hoisted our swimmer.
Hold position.
Roger.
Swimmer's coming up. Swimmer's coming up. Bring the swimmer inside.
Roger.
Swimmer's inside. We are hoist complete.
I think the point in the mission when I kind of was able to, stop thinking so much and second-guessing everything and overanalyzing was as soon as we got the patient safely hoisted into the helicopter.
All right, we got about an hour and 7 minutes to the hospital. How's our patient looking?
Just getting the patient situated right now with some oxygen. Pretty decent, 135/80.
He was having a chest pain that was radiating to his right arm. Hooked up oxygen to him immediately. Took another set of vitals, gave him some water. He said he had a headache. I just wanted to make sure he was okay.
We're departing scene. We have your patient on board. I want to wish you a safe voyage.
U.S. Coast Guard, thank you very much. God bless you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, our pleasure.
Once we had the patient on board, as the pilot's up in front, our main focus is to aviate and navigate, make sure that we get to the place that we're supposed to be bringing him to, which in this case was Holmes Regional Hospital. We had to land on the 9th floor, which is only the second time that I've done that personally.
I need to get off with him and then talk to any people.
They're probably going to come out with a gurney and stuff, so if you want to help push that gurney in.
Absolutely.
I transported the patient out of the cabin door. They had a gurney set up for him, and I passed all the information that I had written down to the doctors that were taking care of him.
My name is Rayford Nixon. I've been sailing actually for about 18 years. I'm actually the chief cook. It was during lunchtime is when this happened. I felt like somebody just punched me in my chest. This had been another day out. There's no telling what could have happened. If it didn't work, there's nothing else they could have done for me. Being in the military for 23 years, I've seen rescues, but for me to actually be the individual, the victim that was going up and being rescued, I was really impressed. So I thank all of them.
It's the first time I've ever hoisted a retired military vet like that.
Awesome, thanks, good work.
I felt like he paid it forward, so it's kind of nice to pay something back like that.
It's good times. I feel pretty good right now as far as, it was my first ever aircraft commander flight, which also happened to be the first time that I was an aircraft commander in a medevac situation. Seeing my logbook get signed and becoming an aircraft commander made me feel like I had completed an accomplishment that I've been trying to achieve for a couple years now, so I'm definitely proud that I've achieved that. Being in the Coast Guard feels really good because you know that at the end of the day you can go home and you feel like you've made a difference in the world.